clock struck midnight in 2020. No one could have anticipated the unforeseen events and challenges we all would face this year. Are you feeling held back? Like your life is on hold this year? I'm your host, Keith, your everyday polymath, here to tell you today that it is not. I am thriving in 2020, and you can too with the right mindset. Today in this episode of the Everyday Polymath Podcast, we're going to talk about not letting unforeseen circumstances hold you back. Or in other words, how to thrive in a pandemic. If you're like most people, most of your plans for 2020 were turned upside down or completely thrown out the window. COVID-19 has forced people to cancel, postpone, or get creative with vacation, wedding, birthday, and graduation plans. Millions of people were laid off or lost their jobs, many of them applying for unemployment for the very first time. It was like life gave us a humbling reminder that we should have gratitude for even the smallest daily details of our lives. Life as we knew it was taken away and changed drastically for the near future and possibly forever. How did you react to this sudden change? How were you affected? Did you stay home bored watching endless hours of news updates and Netflix? Were you so busy working from home and taking care of online school for your kids that you felt like you were losing your mind? Or were you trying to survive? For some, this meant figuring out how and when they could get back to work. For others, it was trying to find a supply of toilet paper. The pandemic affected people in a lot of different ways. The way you reacted to it says a lot about your personality and how you deal with change. Change can be catastrophic for some people. They stress themselves out over things they can't change or give up entirely with an attitude of total apathy. Each of these extremes can have an effect on physical health if allowed to fester long enough. Meanwhile, others choose to thrive and grow during turbulent times. With a change in mindset, you can take advantage of adverse times in your life to improve yourself and change your life for the better. My life the past 6 months or so has been as busy as it has ever been. I'm a person who tries to make the most of any situation. Not to say I wasn't inconvenienced and frustrated by the new normal forced upon us, but I quickly adapted. It's what I do best in almost any situation. Adapting is how I've been able to thrive in so many different careers and is my survival strategy for life. If you resist change or allow yourself to feel defeated by it, you are only putting yourself at a disadvantage. Life is going to move on with or without you. Thinking you can stop the momentum of change is as egocentric as a person can get. Rather than staring into the eye of the storm, it is much wiser to use the winds of change as a tailwind to propel you into the direction you want to go. I'm a huge promoter of self-development, so it's no surprise to you that before the stay-at-home orders even went into effect, I was busy working on my Certified Personal Fitness Trainer certificate, a Fitness Nutrition Coach certificate, as well as a Personal Fitness Chef certificate, getting this knowledge to help me further my business. So, for me, the disruption to daily life gave me even more time to concentrate on my self-development and to focus on my goals, both personal and business. I actually did a Polymath assessment and reflected upon it, and after doing so, it became apparent to me that I should begin writing my book. It had been a long-time goal of mine, and now was as good a time as any. I had so much to say, and I had plenty of time to do it. So, I'm proud to say after a few months of writing, I was able to publish my first book, Becoming an Everyday Polymath. It's now available exclusively on Amazon as an ebook and is recently published as a paperback workbook that you can actually use to fill out your own Polymath assessments. Search for it on Amazon or go to the Everyday Polymath website for a direct link. Now, speaking of the website, I did some more development on it while I had the extra time. And I also was able to launch this amazing podcast here, the Everyday Polymath Podcast. I was able to get the first 4 episodes out. I'm happy to be here with you today. episode 5, and finally back to a regular routine. Now, in addition to growing my life coaching business, I also was working on a Coursera course, working on my data science certificate. I was able to pass that and also pass the knowledge test to add an FAA remote pilot certificate to my commercial aviation competencies. So, as you can see, I was very busy studying, learning. I'd been on this online learning kick for a long time. It's great. It gives you so many options. You can do it at your own pace. I'm a huge fan of so many different companies that are doing this right now. Coursera has some great courses. Anyway, beyond the online learning, I joined a 500K virtual run across New York State and began running at least 5 miles almost every morning. It was the most consistent running routine I've ever done in my lifetime. I'm happy to say now I kind of enjoy running. I think it was a huge part of fueling my success during this time, both for its stress relief and its ability to help me refocus before I began each day. I digress, though. Exercise and its effect on your productivity and routine is a topic for a future podcast. Anyway, not bad, right? I kept myself quite busy. Perhaps more impressive, though, is that I was an essential worker. I accomplished all of this while I was still working full-time on patrol as a first responder. Plus, on my days off, I had to get used to my lovely wife working from home every day. I'm sure there are many of you out there that can understand the challenge that transition was. All kidding aside, having her home actually worked out great. It gave me the opportunity to career coach her during her job search by helping her navigate job interviews and ultimately find a new exciting job in her field. In fact, she got an incredible job offer. However, this job offer would require us to plan a cross-country move, as the position was in Washington State. We thought, people just don't uproot their lives in the middle of a pandemic, do they? Sure they do. Life goes on, and after thinking about it, we decided the risk was worth the reward. So we resigned from our positions, packed up our stuff, and began our 5-day, 2,875-mile road trip to relocate to Seattle, a place neither of us had ever visited. Fortunately, though, big update, I'm happy to say we're pretty much settled in now after being here for a month and enjoying our new life here in Washington State. I just wanted to take a moment to thank the people at Anchor for putting together such an awesome podcasting tool. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. First off, it's free, so you can launch your podcast with no risk at all and at your own pace. With their incredible creation tools, you can record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. It couldn't be easier. Not to mention, Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so you can be heard on all of the major platforms, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many, many more. You can even earn money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. If you've been curious about launching your own podcast, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to start today. Now, I share my experience with you, not to brag, but to inspire you. You too, in fact, can change your life and accomplish anything you want to, no matter what life is presenting you. It is all in your mindset and how you adapt to change. If you look at everything that happens as an opportunity rather than a setback, you can thrive and make changes in your life that may not necessarily have been made otherwise. These junctures are the points in time that change your life's direction forever. Don't be afraid to leave your comfort zone in pursuit of new possibilities. To get in the right mindset, I recommend taking the time to reflect on who you are and who you want to be, where you are in life, and where you want to go. By performing a self-awareness exercise like the Polymath assessment that I developed, it will get you in tune with yourself and fuel your creativity to brainstorm your future possibilities. The Polymath assessment also has the added advantage of assisting you with setting goals and determining strategies to accomplish them. If you'd like more information on performing a Polymath assessment, reference my book, Becoming an Everyday Polymath, maybe pick up the workbook on Amazon, or read my previous article, The Polymath Assessment, on the website. Or contact me directly for some personalized coaching. I can guide you along the way. Once you determine where you are at in life and what you would like to accomplish, it's up to you to decide how you will do it. A great way to get started on formulating your plan and making your vision more of a reality is to talk about your results and ideas with a loved one, trusted friend, or a life coach. By taking the time to get another person's perspective, you'll fuel your creativity and make your ideas more real because you discussed them with a person who will hold you accountable. When you share your dreams with someone else, it puts them out of your mind and into the universe. Once freed from your mind, your ideas are free to grow and evolve as you take the time to work towards them. You can think and hope for an eternity, but until you take action, it will never become a reality. Start with the small things you can accomplish right away. Try and balance your goals between the 4 areas of a polymath: the intellectual, physical, social, and artistic. Finding your balance in these 4 areas will help you better develop yourself as a whole. Ideally, you'll choose small accomplishments to work towards in each of the 4 areas, which hopefully will eventually lead you towards a larger goal that will keep you motivated in the long run. Regardless, what your goals or plans may involve, never give up and adapt your plan when necessary. As we have seen, life can throw us all kinds of curveballs. If you need some assistance or guidance with this, feel free to reach out to me on the website. Take a listen to some of the previous podcast episodes, or read my related articles on the Everyday Polymath website. By being patient and a little creative, even in a time of a worldwide pandemic, you can find ways to improve yourself and change your life. With the right mindset, you too can take advantage of unforeseen circumstances and thrive. Shout out and apologies to all my subscribers on the many podcast formats we're available on. You keep me inspired to keep putting out new episodes. I've been busy with the move, but you can now look forward to more frequent release of new episodes in the coming weeks now that we're all settled in here in Seattle. I would love to hear from you and how you have been dealing with the pandemic. Feel free to message me on the website, www.everydaypolymath.com, or reach out to us on social media, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You can even send me a voice message through the Anchor.fm app. I may even use it in a future episode, you never know. Once again, thanks for listening. Remember to subscribe so you can get the latest and greatest podcasts immediately sent to your inbox when they're released. I am Keith, your Everyday Polymath, encouraging you to stay safe, wear a mask, and get out there and thrive, Polymaths.